So let me ask everyone this. What has Microsoft done to really impress you lately? And this is for the Xbox fans. I don't really particularly care about the PlayStation fans, what they think about Xbox, because no matter what Xbox does, they're going to think poorly of them. So it really kind of comes down to the fans. Now, I've got some news today. This really came out recently, and I'm hopeful among hope that this is actually going to be true and actually happening. And I'm also hoping that the things that I've heard from people are actually true as well. The main reasons behind this is, at the end of the day, you want Microsoft to be able to put out great games. For me personally, I love the fact that Microsoft has been able to kind of rebound in such a way where they've been able to kind of put out some good games, and that people feel like Microsoft is giving them a good value for the money. It was so cool to see a lot of people get, a new Xbox for Christmas and things of that nature. At the same time, it's one of those things where I would like to see Xbox do even better. Yes, I don't think sales is their top priority or anything like that in terms of Xbox consoles, but you still want to sell consoles, and I'm positive they still want to sell consoles. And for me, I still remember what it was like when I saw Cliffy B playing Gears of War, on G4 TV. You guys remember G4 TV, not the rebooted crap, but, G4 TV that was actually G4 TV back in the day, and Cliffy B was on there playing Gears of War, and here I was. I've never seen anything like that in my life, and I was just so impressed with it. I knew I had to get an Xbox 360. This was before the 360 was even out. They're just showing him play it or whatever. So I would love to see a return to form for Gears of War. First and foremost, bring back the of war part. I get that we all call it Gears, but, just something about it, there it just needs to have that Gears of War on the pack or whatever. So, that's pretty cool. But anyway, this looks good. It looks like we might be getting some Gears of War stuff potentially teased up in the new year. It looks like news regarding the next entry, Gears of War series dubbed Gears of War 6, by the fans, seems to have been teased in recent years. The studio Coalition has been laying low as it continues work on its next game after Gears of War 5. Although it's not known for certain, a sequel of Gears of War 5 is widely assumed to be the next project that the developer will release. Now, one key member of the company has indicated that this very much is the case and could have more to share on Gears of War 6 soon enough. In a recent post to Twitter, the Coalition level designer Benjamin Hugh indicated that 2024 could be a year in which news is related in the future of the Gears of War series. He didn't say anything definitive or specific, but you know how this stuff plays out. He told fans he'd see him in 2024 while adding the Gears of War related hashtag to his message. With this in mind, many Gears players preferred that Hugh was hidden at news of some sort of information arriving in 2024 related to Gears of War 6. As mentioned previously, though, the Coalition itself has been quite dodgy over the past couple of years when it comes to what it's actually working on. Currently, the studio has confirmed that its next game will be created within Unreal Engine 5, which isn't much of a surprise given the developer's expertise in the engine. Previous reports have also indicated that the Coalition was at one point working on at least one new non-Gears related property as a way of getting its feet wet with Unreal Engine 5. However, this is no longer said to be the case, as the studio is instead focusing on all of its efforts now on a new Gears of War game. Given the fact that Gears 6 hasn't been formally revealed, it's still hard to know when the next game is in the acclaimed series will come about, but what can be assumed with certainty, though, is that whenever it does, it'll be available on Xbox Series X and S. Now, here's the thing that I like about this, right? This is just something that I've heard. I've heard that people are, did some different things regarding Gears of War. When Gears of War 5 came out, a lot of people got a survey and, were asked questions about Gears of War and, maybe why you stopped playing Gears of War, right? Like, oh, well, why did you stop playing Gears of War? Was it this, or this, or this, or this? And, I think Microsoft is well aware of, Gears of War and some of the issues there, right? Like, you have Gears of War, and I'm not trying to say anything definitively, for how I feel as a man who got into that series. It was a dude bro game, right? and that's where it was best at. I get that, you try to be as inclusive as possible or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's dude bros kicking the crap out of Locust and swearing and smoking and doing, and this was what it was all about. Okay, so with that being said, it's like, one of those things that I kind of look at this and I go, listen, Gears of War sort of lost its way a little bit. I thought 4 was okay. That I thought the robots were a little bit ridiculous, but it had some nice set pieces and stuff. Okay, you're gonna make the game more for JD Phoenix. Okay, fine, whatever, that's cool. But the characters just weren't well written. JD, the other guy, and Kate or whatever her name is, they just weren't well written. They're not fun. They're not cool. They're not, and to me anyway, they're just kind of boring. They're not over the top. And Gears of War is supposed to be over the top, right? When you first see Coltrane and he's whooping it up, and he's killing the locusts and stuff, like that's what you want to see, right? And to me anyway, they didn't do a good job of that. And unfortunately, I think what we need to see is that Microsoft has kind of come a long way in sort of this roundabout way to bring us, a game that's going to actually bring people back into the fold. So those of you that might not even know that I have a Gears of War tattoo. I have the Crimson Omen tattoo, and I love it. And I got it, for the original trilogy or whatever. That was the reason why I got mine. So when I look at that and I go, okay, well, I love Gears of War, but they did seem to lose their way a bit. I love the fact that, nothing's lost that can't be found again, in this world. So hopefully you guys are of agreement where I'm coming from with that, man. I think they can still find their footing there, and I think that Gears of War still has some legs. It was always looked at as a huge Xbox series, and what's so funny is leading into the Xbox One generation, people actually said, hey, you know what, maybe Gears of War has overtaken Halo as the Xbox game that everybody knows it for. That never happened, unfortunately. Whatever the case may be, I think that it can still find its way, and I would love to see more about Gears of War in the upcoming year, especially if they can go back to sort of its roots. In my perfect world, if you go, hey CG, what would you like to see with Gears of War? I would say pretend like the last 2 games didn't happen. It's all been look, you can get away with this because it's video games and it's cheesy. Delta Squad wakes up before Dom kills himself. They stop him from doing that, and it's Delta Squad killing Locust. That to me is Gears of War. You don't need. It's not ever going to be The Last of Us in terms of a narrative, right? So stop trying to make it that. Okay, it's Gears of War. It's dude bro shooter. It is what it is. Embrace that. And I think the sooner that Microsoft embraces that, the better for everybody else. But let me know what you guys think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Rack 'em up. I'm Crap Gamer. This has been Crap Gamer Reviews. Peace.